Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Ibiro Kat. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing fine. This past week has been one heck of a week, hence why this video is coming out so late. But shout outs to Oluwafe Kemi on Twitter who insisted that I had to do this video. So here you go. Let's get right on into it. Okay, first things first, this week's episode proves just how self-absorbed Diana is. Of course, we saw traces of this in her behavior before. She's a bully. Every conversation has to be about her. She has to look the biggest and the baddest. But I did not know that she didn't care about anybody but herself until this episode. In class, you would assume that she was texting Francis, but her whole body language and even her facial expression just showed you that it was not Francis she was texting. And it was confirmed when she was speaking to Cynthia and the other friend on the school ground when she was asking how the party went for them and even going as far as insulting them for being, little babies. And it's just like, maybe she didn't know what happened. Like, I don't know. She had to have not known what happened because you can't be that heartless. It doesn't matter if you're a bully. I don't think you can possibly be that heartless and not care about your own friend. Now, I thought that I was overthinking it when I watched the episode before when she was packing the clothes for the ladies to go to the party. And on the wall, you see a friend's photograph frame. And the two biggest pictures are of her, Diana, and of Francis. And I was thinking to myself, what could that possibly mean? I noticed it only because the camera panned out on it twice. So I'm just like, I don't know if it was actually foreshadowing that Francis would be the victim later on in that episode or not. It also made me think more about why exactly Francis is Diana's favorite. You see the size contrast. Diana is big compared to Francis, who's very small. Diana's way more talkative and outgoing than Francis is. Diana's very forceful with her ideas and Francis just accepts it. So I don't know, maybe that's why Francis is her favorite. Maybe that's why Francis's photo was the biggest, or what exactly was going on in that episode. I might just be overthinking it. Oh, and by the way, we were right. All of us that predicted that Toby was not going back to pick up Francis, we were all right. Corporal Yasmine, she lights up when she speaks Hausa. It's so beautiful. I just saw the most life in her when she was talking to her sister, when she was talking to Hadiza's mother. I feel like maybe she should speak even more Hausa in the upcoming episodes because it was just beautiful. Now, Corporal Yasmine is amazing, but she's also very oblivious. She reminds me of what I would call a hopeless revolutionary. You have hopeless romantics. I feel like she's a hopeless revolutionary. Not to say that her efforts are futile and that it could never work in Nigeria, but she has lived a different life and that's how she sees the world. She kind of has on like these glasses that just frames the world differently for her. And you could see it in her conversation with Hadiza's mother. She confirmed that, yes, she also is from Kano, but she grew up in Lagos. But her relationship with Mahmoud is very different from her sister's relationship with her husband. So it's difficult for Corporal Yasmine to fathom that other people live such archaic lifestyles. And I want to say that IJGBs, expats, people like me are very guilty of this as well. We think, wow, we need to stand up. We need to revolutionize. We can't just sit on our behinds. And it's like things that we actually really do say and the way that we really do believe. And I don't think that the way that we think is wrong. I just think that we also have to consider the circumstances. Things work a certain way. And if we want to actually affect change, then we have to work in a certain manner. It's kind of like the white savior coming in to save the starving African child. But if, for example, you're bringing food items that require appliances that we're not used to using or we don't have the means of using, what good is it to us? So that's kind of how Corporal Yasmine behaves. And she means well. Always. She definitely always means well. But she missed it when Hadiza had to go feed the baby. She missed it when Cynthia was clearly down because she would rather have visited Francis than be painting the wall that day. And I don't fault her. She's also young. She's young. She's hopeful. And of course, there are a lot of things that she can learn. I think we need more Corporal Yasmines in Nigeria. And that would actually affect real change in the very near future. So, remember when I told y'all that Uncle Cyril looks like he beats women? I think it was like in my first review of the show. When he stood up to go throw away Layla's contraceptives, I really thought he was going to hit Wuju. Like, this man, He is the very reason why children would be sneaky and behave the way they behave. If Layla had a better relationship with Uncle Cyril, she probably actually wouldn't have even lied in the first place. Who knows? Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't have. But there's no way that somebody living in such an environment can ever be truthful with such a person. And come on, like, you're a grown man. Why are you sitting here like playing these little games? If you want to scold her, scold her. Don't now be using reverse, like, I don't know, I personally don't like that. If you want to reprimand me, then just be straight up. He was playing too many games, like, oh, it must be because you were partying too much. Like, shut up. And also, don't you have a job? It was definitely a weekday because it was the same day that Cynthia and them were at school. You sitting here taking out a big bottle of beer in the middle of the day on blogs. He's very like sneaky, and I feel like you should be very direct, especially if you're a parent, which is where Wuju comes in. Wuju has such great information, such great knowledge, and it will all go to waste if she does not develop a voice. It will all go to waste if she can't actually converse with Cyril and have a civil conversation. And I fear for Alex when he does grow up that he might just become a bitter, possessive man like Uncle Cyril, because Wuju can't stand up for herself. She can't stand up for Layla. She can't stand up for her son. Man, MTV Shuga is great. Like, they really bring up so many topics. Oh my gosh, wait, we cannot forget that we finally ventured to the north. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. It's actually more beautiful than my mother described to me. We went to Kaduna and we went to Kano this week in MTV Shuga. It was so colorful. It was so clean. And I just love the artwork that they had in their houses. I was just in love with being in the north this episode, which takes me to Hadiza's situation. I really hope her husband does not catch her, because the father is telling Hadiza's mom to come back home, meaning Hadiza's going to be left on her own, which is actually an opportunity for Corporal Yasmine to take her in. Actually, this would be great. Now, actually, this will be great because now Hadiza has extra tutoring. Hadiza can live the life that I would want her to live. Oh man, actually, this is amazing. Hadiza's mom should probably go back to the north. Yeah. Yeah. All right, on to the tearjerker. Cynthia already. Cynthia, a true friend. Like, I cried. Like, not even to be dramatic, I really did shed 4 tears in total, 2 from each eye, because Cynthia is just such a caring person from within, and it's not for any like human acknowledgement or anything. She actually is just such a good person who cares about people. Everybody needs a Cynthia in their corner. Actually, I tweeted that, and Cynthia, who is played by Uzoamaka Aniuno. Ooh, I'm so sorry if I butcher her last name. I'm not Igbo. But basically, she retweeted and she agreed that everybody needs a Cynthia in their corner. Cynthia is the most caring, selfless, just straight down, darn loving person I have ever seen. She really plays that role so well because, like, I believe it so much. When she hugs Francis, I was like, wow. Wow. Because there are times where nobody wants to hear what you have to say. They just want to know that you are there for them. Even the other girl, she didn't come over to Francis's place. It was Cynthia that came. Cynthia is just a great person. Oregiti. Everybody, go get yourself a Cynthia if you don't already have one. It's confirmed. Ebisinde Tiyawere, finally. Ebisinde has actually run mad. And we predicted this, didn't we? Predict that now that he knows exactly what Fa has to go through, he's going to work even harder to provide for his family. Homeboy has gone from stealing car parts to now wanting to steal full cars. This man is going to end up in jail, I promise you. Hopefully it's jail and not jungle justice. I said that before. Even with Wasiu, his bad friend that's corrupted him, is like, yo, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? I commented on his Instagram as well. Like, well, you were the one that taught him. He's like, yeah, I know I taught him, but he's actually past me. I need to stay off of these people's social media. But that's not the point. The point is, Ebisinde, please be careful. Layla, please, I know Uncle Cyril is a hard ass, but, you know, try your best to just keep your calm. Diana, I don't know, maybe Diana needs to have a talk with somebody because her behavior is just abnormal at this point. Cynthia, You get Best Friend of the Year award, you get Student of the Year award, you get Human Being of the Year award. If they have Nobel Peace Prizes for young schoolgirls who know how to make everybody feel important, you would win it. Would you develop a voice? Like, these are just things that we want each of the characters to do, right? What do you think will happen in next week's episode? Comment down below. Let's keep this conversation going. MTV Shuga did actually release a Meet Francis and a Meet Layla video. I am yet to watch it, only because I did not want it to influence my review of this week. I'm excited for episode 7. I've already seen comments. They weren't spoilers, thank God, but I've already seen comments that are just getting me so excited for episode 7. All right, that's all that I have to say for now. Catch you in my next video. Oh yeah, and if you haven't yet subscribed, you already know what to do. Hit the red button, subscribe, and join this family. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video. All right, bye now.